Hello, welcome to Skill of the Week for fourth grade this week. We are going to be making a picture called Falling Through a Tunnel, and it kind of bounces off of our idea that we were doing when we were doing 1 point perspective with our skyscrapers, but this one has a little bit of a twist to it, so I think you're going to enjoy it. So bear with me while I get my computer set up. Okay, I think I got the sound on there now. All right, so you're going to need a 9 by 12 piece of paper. That's just the small paper that's in the paper cabinet. And you're going to need a ruler. So just like with our 1 point perspective skyscraper drawings, you're going to need just a little dot in the middle for your vanishing point. Okay, but the fun thing about this is you don't have to do a whole bunch of lines going out separately. We're just going to draw a line through it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to line my vanishing point up with the middle of my ruler, and I'm just going to drag my pencil across. And I'm going to do that several times. So I'm just going to go all the way across my page like that, making sure that my vanishing point is in the center of my ruler. Okay, and I'm just going to do several lines. I think I'm going to do one more. So there are all my lines. Kind of creates some pizza slices. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start drawing curved lines in each pizza slice. So I'm just going to do a curved line like this, kind of creating some stripe effects. Okay, so see what I did there? I just made curved lines coming out. And then I'm going to go the opposite direction with my curve, right next to it. And if I've got extra space, I'll make another line. So see what I did there? I've got a curve going this direction, then I've got a curve going the other direction. And now I'm going to switch directions again. So now I'm going to go this way. And notice that I'm just connecting it with the previous line. Just going to do kind of like a rainbow line. Okay, now what would I do on this one? Curve it the other direction. So I'm just keep going opposite. Okay, gotta fix that a little bit. All right, now I'm ready to do more lines on this side. Okay, curve the other direction. And I've got enough space here, so I'm going to go ahead and do another one there. Okay, opposite direction. And just remember you're curving, you're connecting all of those lines. Okay? Again, I'm curving it the opposite direction of what I just did. Okay? Same with this, opposite direction. Okay. Oops, I didn't go the opposite direction. If you catch yourself, that's great. See how if I make my lines light, it's easy to erase, but if I make them too dark, then it's really hard to erase. So I got to go the opposite direction again. Might need to tell yourself that in your head. Okay, opposite direction. Because I didn't tell myself and I just started drawing. Wasn't even paying attention. Okay, and then my last one connects those two together. Okay, now to make that work out properly so that I had every other one, I had to have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pizza slices. I think that's how many I counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10 lines creating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pizza slices. Okay, so if you have 10 or another even number, let's say you have 8, that would still work out the right way as well. So once you have all of your lines drawn and they look really wavy like that, kind of curved, make sure your stripes, you don't do too many skinny stripes or anything like that, because then it's just kind of confusing to try and color them. Once you get that, you're going to take a Sharpie marker and you're going to outline your lines. you're going to just go right over the top of them. Now notice that I'm drawing with my whole arm because that just makes it so that I can have one nice smooth line. If I do a sketchy line, it's going to look like a hairy line and it's not going to look three-dimensional. So this way, you get a nice smooth line. I'm just kind of keeping my hand in one position and I'm dragging it all the way across the paper. Just paying attention to where my lines are. Okay? Pulling it down towards me. And then I'm going to go over my curved lines too. See, that's why we go over it with pencil first, because if we make a mistake, we can't erase marker, can we? But we can erase pencil. Now I can do this pretty fast, but you might need to take your time so that you can get your lines nice and even and smooth. Don't be in a rush. All right, so there I've got all of my lines traced so that I have kind of like a pattern happening. So now we're going to color in kind of vibrating colors to make it look like it's almost pulsating. And if you look up at my painting supplies cabinet, I have a sign there that has vibrating color combinations that you can use. One of the combinations is blue and magenta. And basically, magenta is kind of like red-violet. So that's what I'm going to start with. Okay, and I think I'm going to do every other one a different combination. So this one I'm going to do the blue, which this is indigo, so it looks a little bit purple, but it's kind of a blue-violet. And I'm going to change, like I'm just going to skip a stripe. Okay, and you want to color these nice and neat. If you stay inside of your lines, you will have a really eye-popping design, and it'll look like it's pulsating and vibrating, and it'll look like it's falling down a tunnel once we get done. It's going to look really cool. But see how I'm coloring with my lines real close together, and if I miss some spaces, I go back over it so that I have a nice even coloring. So some people say always color all in the same direction and you'll have everything look neat. But sometimes when you color all in the same direction, it doesn't look as neat as you'd like it to, especially if you miss a lot of spots. So I like to color in different directions to kind of blend those areas together. And you can see I'm turning my paper around so that I can get everything fit in there. Now I'm going to go to the magenta color, which again, it's just like red-violet. And I'm just going to fill in the stripes that are in between. See how I left some gaps there, but then when I color in a different direction, it fills all of it in. If you color lightly and you build your color and your values slowly, you'll have nice even coloring. Kind of filling in my spots. And sometimes if I want to make sure I'm staying in my lines, I will color my outside edges and then I'll fill it in. Kind of helps me stay where I need to be. See, if you use that side of the crayon and not always a point, you get this really nice, beautiful, even color. Okay, so there's my first one. My second one, I'm going to do orange and yellow because those are kind of some eye-popping colors. And I'm just going to rotate every other one. I'm going to do my blue and magenta, my yellow and orange, blue and magenta, yellow and orange, and I'm just going to keep going all the way around. So I'm going to start with my yellow, and I'm just going to go every other stripe, fill those in. I push a little harder with my yellow just because I think yellow really is beautiful if you make it bright and bold, and it hides the gaps a little bit more easily than your darker colors. So you can tend to go a little darker on orange or on yellow. I'm just going to fill that in. You know what I think I want to do on this one? I got a big gap here. I'm going to go ahead and just make another line there, because otherwise that stripe is really, really big. And then my last yellow. Bright, bold, and vibrant. And I'm going to finish this up, and I'll come back with the finished product for you. Okay, so now I have my design all colored and colored neatly, staying in the lines. That's what's going to make it look like it's flying through a tunnel. And then once you get all of that colored, we're going to take a picture of you looking like you're falling through a tunnel. So this is my picture that I just took of me falling through a tunnel, and we're going to glue it. Okay, so we're going to get our glue bottles out, and we're just going to put a light coat. Sorry about that. My glue is not coming out. There we go. And we got to get all the way up. You're going to have to cut this out, by the way. So what I did was I didn't cut the fingers out. I just lightly went around the fingers. And then we're just going to put a light coating of glue, not too much, just enough to get it stuck down. And I got to decide where I want this to be falling. I could have it upside down, like, falling through the tunnel. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I could have it in any position, really. I could have it like that or like that. You could put it smack dab in the middle, wherever you want it, wherever you think it's going to look interesting, but you also want to pose interestingly so that your fall looks like you're actually falling through the tunnel. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for our next project. See ya!